Hey y'all, hey, we back with the Bling Hair 13x6 28-inch deep weight wig install. In today's video, I will be installing this unit as well as giving y'all some updates, so stay tuned. We're gonna start with the wig. It's freshly washed, the knots are bleached, and if you thought from the unboxing that it was still gonna be shedding, you are right. Hopefully she acts right while we do this install, but I don't even know, y'all. My fingers is crossed. Now let's get into it. With this back piece, I get asked often what to do with it. Just cut it off, babe. It don't have to be there. Once you got that extra piece cut, throw the wig on, babe. Just throw it on. It's the first time I put this wig on, and it's actually a nice fit. I can honestly say it's not uncomfortable. You want to take the excess lace, but not all of it, and just cut it off so you can see. We're not cutting everything off because we're going to use that to place our lace where we need to once we put the glue on. That'll make sense a little bit later, but just don't cut it all off. The ear tabs, we have to cut these ear tabs. Now, if you anything how I was when I first really started getting into lace, baby, do not cut my lace, please. But for a good install, y'all, we gotta cut them ear tabs. And the best way to do it is to part it out. If you don't part out where you're going to cut it at, you do run the risk of actually cutting the hairs there. So once you do the install, it's just gonna look stupid. It's gonna look stupid. So what we do to one side, we got to do to the other side. And you want a comfortable fit so that it's not bending your ear or interfering with your ear. And this is what it should look like once both ear tabs are cut. It should just lay flat prior to even putting the glue. I tell y'all all the time, it's multiple ways to do your hair. You just have to find what you like. Now, you can either cut it in the middle or you can cut the two sides. I do the two sides because this is going to help prevent a lot of the minor mistakes that we make when applying the unit. Doing the three tabs is going to give you something to hold on to. And if you start in the middle, it's going to help your unit not slip back as well as not get those ripples. Y'all know them ripples I'm talking about, so don't even get in here trying to act funny. Now we need to prep our skin. So I will be going in with the Erica J adhesive skin guard. You want to always use a skin protector of some sort. And I'll also be going in, we'll be using her glue today as well. I got some tea on that for y'all too, so stay tuned for that. I want to keep this video about the install, so I'm not going to talk about it in here. But I'll definitely be dropping that as like a separate little short or whatever. Now, if you true here, not new here, you know, for the most part, I'm going to use a popsicle stick to apply my glue. But you can really use whatever you can get your hands on. Today, it's the popsicle stick for me. Now, I'm going in with, I want to say like 4 to 5 layers. I'm not going to show y'all all of those layers. So we're going to just speed through that. Main thing when applying your glue, you want to make sure you are applying thin layers. Thin layers and let it dry. And with this glue, it does dry very fast. Now, with where you place your glue, that's also important. You want to put a little bit of the glue on your ball cap, a little bit of the glue on your skin. So when I apply mine, I just put it on that line of the end of the cap. Hopefully that makes sense, but y'all see what I'm doing. And I drag it down to my skin. Listen to what I'm saying, because your shit gonna be laid if you listen. Now go ahead with that middle piece. Because we are done, we're gonna use our little tab that we left on from the lace, and we're just going to pull that right before where our glue stops. Hopefully that makes sense. If it don't, you see what I'm doing, or drop down in the comment any questions that you may have. I'll get to it. I'll definitely respond to you. But you don't want to press it in until you know it's where you want it to be. Can you take it off and reposition it? Yes, but if you're a beginner, that's going to be sticky. and real messy, so let's just avoid it. Okay, moving on to the sides now, y'all. What you don't want to have to do when installing your wig is pull it to stretch it to make it fit. That is going to cause tension, and that is what messes with the integrity of your install. So that's possibly why your wig is not lasting as long as you think it should, regardless of how many layers of glue you're using. Now, with the glue, it's the same thing that we did in the middle. When it comes to an install for real, yes, it takes practice, but it's really patience and repeat. Patience and repeat. So right now we using our patience to make sure we applying thin, even layers of this glue. And we're going between both of the sides, because by the time I'm done with this side, the next side is going to be ready for its next layer of glue. It'll already be dry. So I'm going to stop yapping and just let you watch, because it really is the same process. Once all 4 layers have dried clear, you want to follow the same step. Take your lace and lay it right before the glue. You don't want to push it in before you know it's where you want it to be. And then you're going to take your comb and comb through it. Following the same step on the other side. Just lay it right in front of your glue. Once you got your placement, go ahead and comb that in. Once you got your sides combed in, you want to grab your hot comb in some patience if you have not already. And I have my hot comb on 410. You can put yours on what you want to put it on, but this hair did take well to my hot comb being on 410. It wasn't smoking or burning off or anything, so that's a good thing. Now let's cut this excess lace off. Now if you got some skin in the game, you can use a razor. If not, baby, get them scissors and stop playing around. Now, before I cut the lace off, I do like to go in and pull out a thin layer before I cut the excess lace off. And this just helps further customize your lace so it doesn't have that boxy hairline look if you're putting it on straight out the bag, which I don't recommend, but okay. Nevertheless, I pull out a very thin layer. This helps give that customized coming out the scalp hairline. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. Just listen. And you're going to take them scissors and you're going to cut it at like a jagged edge. Or you can use your razor. But if that ain't what you do, get them scissors and stop playing around. I'm going to show y'all this again. We're going to take the end of that rat tail comb. We're going to pull out a very thin layer of that hairline. And we're going to cut that off when we cut the excess lace off. Now, I get it. I, too, was one of those girls like, no, don't cut my lace. Don't cut no hair on my lace. But you going to have to, babe. You going to have to come up off some of them hairs in that lace if you want a natural-looking install. Also, doing this helps with your customization if that's not your strong suit. Because customizing a unit is what's going to make it give scalp. Now, one may say, Daya, how you trying to tell me how to lay my lace, but yours is lifting up after you just glued it down? To you, I say, mind your business. How'd you get over here in my business? No. Okay, I'm bullshitting y'all. No, for real. Just trust the process. We going to take something small. I like to use a rat tail comb. I do clean it off with alcohol in between each layer. If we use 4 layers for the install, how many layers do you think we're going to use for these little pieces that are not down? If you said 4, you are correct. Still following the same process. Make sure they all the way dried. Take your finger. I use the back of my comb, which I prefer, and I just lay it in there. And do you see this? Do you see this? We going back in with our hot comb to push those edges back. Again, all of this now is just helping with the melt. You're going to get you an elastic band Stretch it out, tie it down. I told you this install was going to take some patience. Go get a tea, a snack, a something, wait 10 minutes, and let's take this thing off. Now, this is what you should be looking like. This is how you should be looking thus far. It's giving scalp, but let's get rid of this white cast. I'm going in with the Even Lace Melt Spray. You can use any lace melt spray. I do also like the Kiss. I'm going to take a brush and go along my hairline. Now, with this part, take your time, patience. I'm telling you, patience. Take your time, go slow, and you got this. Because with these lace sprays, some of them have alcohol in it, so it will cause your lace to start lifting. So just take your time and go along your hairline. Not too much of this, because if you use this specific brand, it is very sticky, and you want to make sure no flyaway hairs or little hairs are in it, because once you go to tie it down, those hairs will be stuck there and you will be fighting for your life trying to clean it up. Okay, once that's dry, you're gonna go in with an elastic band and go do something. For me, I went and did my face, but you want to leave that band on there for at least 15 minutes. And then once you take your band off, you want to comb all the hairs back and comb any excess lace spray out of your hairline. And baby, you cannot tell me this not my hair. As usual, I was born this way. I was born with this hair since I was a little bitty baby. Okay, I get trims on the regular. I have a crazy hair routine. That's what this gives. It's giving scalp. It's giving my hair. So, anyways, because I really just be surprising myself sometimes, we going back in with our hot comb. Now, you can be done here. And I actually like this look, but I was getting ready to go somewhere. So, we decided for a side part, you want to take that wax stick and you want to go in between your parts with your hot comb. So I was going for big hair, but with going for big hair, that don't mean helmet hair, because some of y'all wigs just be sitting up there on top of y'all head. And I think it's because y'all not using a hot comb, or y'all don't know what y'all doing. Either way it goes, I'm here to help. So get that hot comb and that wax stick and flatten that hair out. Now, you don't want to use that wax stick on each piece of hair just like every other piece, because that wax stick get heavy. And baby, look at me, just fine for no reason. Like, so fine, it should be criminal. Depending on what you have your hot comb on, you may have to do a couple passes, and that's okay, because I've been told y'all and I've been telling y'all, patience. Take your time and look at me fine still. I truly love this look right here, but I wanted to see what this hair was going to do with minimal products on it, because I'm not a big product girl, especially when it comes to curly hair. I wanted to see what it was going to do. Now, if you don't got no baby hairs, no adult hairs, or no forehead hairs, did you really have a curly install? Drop it down in the comments, so I can see if y'all edges girls or not. Now, I'm going to pull my edges out. With the edges, I'm going to be honest, some days they're perfect, some days they're not. Just slap the edges up there, y'all. You want to make sure what you do to one side, you do to the other. Even though we're doing a side part, we still need to do that side that's going to be covered. Because, baby, what if the wind blows? They're going to find me out. They're going to find out I can shapeshift, and that is not my hair. So, no, we're going to do those two. You want to take your hot comb and hot comb them down. And I use my ear as a mark. I use the tail of my eyebrow as an indicator as well, to kind of know how short I want to cut them. Then you want to take the smallest flat iron you have, or either a wand curler if you don't have a tiny flat iron, and you want to curl them. You can curl them up or down. It don't really matter. Once you have your edges curled, you want to take, I use a styling foam for my edges because I don't like them sticking to my face. So you can use Nairobi or a whole lot of body, and you just want to style your edges how you like them. Now for me, one side always come out better than the other. I don't know what that's about, and this side right here definitely came out better than the other side, but it is what it is. Take your time, have fun with it. It's not that serious. Just use some patience. Once you got your edges done how you want them, you want to go in with a silk scarf and tie that down. A lot of tying down, a lot of melting. All of this goes into the melting process and how your hair turns out, to be honest. Leave that on for at least another 10 to 15 minutes. So I am going to go in with a water bottle while we got our edges tied up. Main thing with the edges, you want them to dry because you used a styling foam. If you're following what I'm doing, you're using a styling foam. So that does need to be dry so your edges can set in place. Once this dries down, I do want a bigger curly look. So I'm not drenching my hair in water here. And then I'm going to just go in with some whole lot of body just to kind of define the curls. And this is what it gives, y'all. This is what it gives. Y'all can make y'all own opinion. I personally, I don't know. It looked like a wet dog to me, but that's just my opinion. And this is the Bling Hair. Anyways, we're going to take this off, and this is what you should have. And this install really is giving 10s across the board. All in all, this wig did do pretty good for the install. And once it dried down, it definitely gave big hair energy. So I was here for it. If you enjoyed this install review and final look, make sure you subscribe and follow along for more wig tea installs and styling tips. Also, spoiler alert, I did keep this wig on for a full week, and I will be dropping all of the tea. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Until next time, bye.